Hi all, it's Dali here from DaliART. I hope you're all keeping safe and you're all well. I'm missing you all. I'm still in Canada. I hear it's beautiful weather here today, back at home. And I just wanted to share a project with you. It's called the 3D Mirror Canvas. And this is also using You Make Me Happy pad, using some steampunk wooden pieces and some crackle paste and a couple of creamies. So I hope you're going to like this. So I'm going to get started. The kit is available on DaliART Market and I believe Pip Art Creations as well. And so what we'll do is when we upload this, we will make sure we put all the details underneath, and don't forget to subscribe too. Okay, let's get started on the project. So I'm going to start off with a blank canvas, and you'll get a canvas. You'll also get this 3D mirror framework to work with. They may vary in design, but they will be the same size. Looks like I need to clean the mirror a bit. Let's give that a bit of a polish while we're at it so I don't forget. So just be a little bit careful with it, but there we go. So I've just cleaned that. It's just makes it a lot better already. So we've got that. So let's start with the actual background. So what you're going to get in your kit is, like I said, the canvas, the mirror. You'll get two creamies, colour palette, roughly this or a magenta. So you are going to be able to do this very, very similar. And you'll get 150ml acrylic paint as well, metallic. So, and then on top of that, you'll get your beautiful You Make Me Happy pad. There we go. And this is also now available digitally. So you'll get one of these. And so this has got loads of lovely things in them. Can you see that? It's absolutely beautiful, packed with lots of different things. Whoops. I've been cutting into that one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use parts of that to make the middle of the actual mirror. So let's get started. So let me move the video down so you can actually see my workspace, and hopefully that's clear enough for you. Our lighting, we are waiting to get some more lights because obviously due to circumstances, it has been very, very tough. So let's start. So I'm going to use this beautiful sort of turquoise sky blue. Some of you may already have these paints, so it's something that you can start doing. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that on the back. I love this this colour palette. It's very me, where you've got the lightness and you've got the darkness. So I'm just randomly going in there. I'm going to use a little bit of the purple as well. Now, if you find it easier, you can put these onto in a palette. You can put them on into the craft sheet. So all we're doing is we're just building the background up, and each time it will be different. So there's no rights or wrongs. So don't worry about that too much. So you're going to cover this background, and I'm just doing it, like I said, very, very randomly. So I want all the back to be covered. And if you're finding that it's something you want to do in a certain order or a certain colour palette, you can obviously change this project to that colour palette. So I just love the way these two colours work together. And you can let them dry and then build on top of them again. So all I'm doing is just doing that background for you. So hopefully you can see how lovely that's looking and how rich that looks. And again, you can keep this a lot lighter, you can keep it a lot darker. It really is up to you, but I do love this sort of shading, the look. And the creamies are absolutely beautiful to work with. And you could stencil on the background, you could do other effects on the background. I've just chosen to leave it because of the mirror being so large and a very focal point, which is the whole idea of it, is that this is a really lovely project to do. Now, you can crackle paste. I'll show you how to crackle paste on top of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carry on just building this background up. And as you can see, we're just mixing those colours up. We know the videos are long, but we quite like the fact that you can actually do it in your home step by step, as if I was doing it, and it's in real time. So if you want to speed things up, just move the video forward. There is an option at the bottom of the videos where you can actually speed it up anyway. So we keep going with this. So I'm going to go to the sort of pull myself into the blue again in the middle. So I've sort of done the edges a little bit darker. And as we move forward with this, this is going to change as we keep going. So you can just see how beautiful that actually looks. So let me see if we can carry on with that. There we go. And I'll show you this. We'll do a quick dry on it as well so that you can see that. And once I've dried it, I'm going to put the mirror on and then we can see roughly where we are with it. So we know that we've done that. Right. I've sort of done the strokes downwards. You could do them randomly. You could do them in different ways. I mean, you could get like a slightly different finish, especially when you're dry brushing. So there we go. So all I've done now is just in the background. What's on my brush at the bottom? Let me show you how I'm getting on with that. So can you see that? So I've left a lot of purple. I was going to say the blue in the middle, and I'm going to go with a sort of you can use a fabric paint. You can use a different colour, and in fact I think we're going to be putting some with fabric paints because we think that the fabric paints are much thicker, so they give you a much more richer canvas finish, which you don't always get. That's why I'm using the creamies as well. Let me put a little bit more of this in as well. And Pip's here with me today. She's been very kind and she's made me a really lovely cup of tea. Hello. Hello, she says in the background. So all we've done now is we've basically created this beautiful, very quickly, this beautiful background. So I hope you're liking that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add to that. I'm just going to give that a quick heat dry. That's a good one. So it's only a thin layer. Oops, I'll switch it off. Take me half an hour. Oh, I've got a really nice cup of tea here, look. Oh, little bunny rabbits. Oh, look, it matches. I think
Easter.
It's Easter, as Pip says.
Right. Well, it will be Easter next Sunday.
Next Sunday. So what I want to now do is I want to bring some Crackle Paste. Now you're all familiar with the Crackle Paste. This is optional. So if you've got this or you want to use it or purchase it, you can do. So you get a primer, you get a Crackle Paste. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some of the actual Crackle primer. I'm just going to use a brush and I'm just going to apply it. I'm not going to put it everywhere because if you come back and I show you with the mirror, your mirror is going to take up quite a lot of space. So can you see that already? So, oh, you can see my reflection. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of the primer and I'm just going to do some of the edges. So you don't need a lot, just take a little bit. It doesn't have to be in any order. And all I'm doing is I'm doing a little bit. If you put a lot down like I've just done, just lift it. And just a little bit on the edges. It's more to create a more textured sort of environment. So just take a little bit of the primer and just build it at the bottom. And I'm not going, I'm making it sort of a little bit random. Now with Crackle Paste, the way it works is that you get the primer and wherever the primer is, the crackle, it will crackle elsewhere, but it will adhere much better if you've got a primer. So It's such a nice effect. So we're all stuck at home, obviously, or we're all indoors, I should say. And, you know, I find craft is a way out. Yesterday, we even lost the internet here. That was a bit spooky. So all I've done is just done that. So let's see where we're getting to with this. So now what you need to do is just give that a very quick dry. Now, with all our Crackle Paste, it's the same. The beauty of pent art materials is that you can actually dry them, heat dry them, which speeds up the process. I love their Crackle Paste, and any of the colours you use, whether it's metallic, whether it's white, whether it's black, it's the same technique. So all I'm doing is I'm taking a bit of that paste. The thicker you apply it, the bigger the cracks. So I'm going to randomly just apply this. There's no, I'm just lifting some of that off. There's no rights, there's no wrongs. So just go for it. And I'm just building that in. I quite like the fact that it is so random. Just take a little bit on a palette knife and just literally apply it. If you want small cracks, then just do a very thin layer. If you want bigger cracks, then you need to do bigger layers. And you'll see this actually forming as you do it. Now here I'm going to bring it in into different strokes, so you can see I'm just going, because I quite like the idea of it not just being sat there. A little bit more to do on the bottom. So once we've done that, I just love the colour palette of this. It really matches the book, and obviously any papers you've got you could do this with. So that's that done. The tea's lovely, Pip, that's lovely. I'm really enjoying it. Reach across to my big wipes, which just seem to move as further away as I could. So I'm just going to give that a quick wipe. Let's do that, so because obviously it will set hard, and that's not the look we're going for. Right, so quick, another heat blast. Now you'll see the cracks form as this dries. There it goes. I'll show you that. I don't know if you can already see them. Let me hold that up for you. Can you see them? Ooh. Look at those. Absolutely amazing. So it really is instant. It's so much gratitude. I love it. And this effect is just so magical. Can you see them all going? Once you've done that, you can actually, you know, even let it set aside and let it crack away. Now, can you see all those little cracks, all those little, I think you can see those, can't you? Yep, there we go. I mean, just look at that already. That's just the start of it. So what we want to do next is we might, what I tend to do is I want to go and colour the mirror now. So the idea is that for the mirror, I'm just going to go, just leave the middle blank. If you find it easier, you can even put a bit of copy paper in the middle just to cover that, so that you're not getting anything on top of it. Tea is so yummy. And so what I would suggest is that just again do this with the two colours that you've got, and I want to just put them onto the mat because it's just easier. with these creamies. They're just so lush. You can stencil with these. So we could actually stencil on the back of our canvas if we wanted to as well. So let me just quickly put this down. Oops, there we go. So we've got these beautiful colours. And all I'm going to do is just pick up. I mean, the background of this is already so, so nice. And you could even crackle a little bit of this if you wanted to. So all I'm doing is just look at that. The richness of these two colours. It's just amazing. So you could go with the dark colour first and just pick up a few areas. Dry that off, because this is such a lovely framework to work with. And like I say, they're a part of the kit. They will be available. So don't forget to pick those up. And then you can do this in your home. I know Paul will be very happy to be sending these out. He's got to make them yet though. Trouble. So we've got a little bit going on there. And again, do the mirror as well. And just a little bit randomly. And if you know, if you really want to do all the sides and everything, bear in mind it's all going to be going down onto the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that a quick blast, just because otherwise it'll take a while to dry. So all I've done, can you see, I've just started with the purple. You can do it both together. It's really up to you. They'll dry literally very quickly. It just breaks up that gold on that mirror. Again, for speed, I'm drying all this, but you and your homes could actually just do this as it is. And then leave it to dry. So I'm going to take a little bit of blue just to bring that back out again. Some of the bits. Swipe a little bit of that purple off my brush. So this is, you know, again, try this with different colours. Try it with different backgrounds. Again, you know, it really is up to you how you want to do this. And all I'm doing is just coming in and just adding a little bit of colour. Take your time at home. If you feel you've made a mistake or you want to do something a bit different, just have a wet cloth or a baby wipe at hand and just use that. And then that will give you the breakdown. I absolutely adore this frame. I think it's just so beautiful to work with. So it really does give you that sort of grandness to this canvas. You could do this as a reverse canvas if you wanted to as well. So it really is up to you. And you can come back, once you've stuck all this down, you can come back and have a look. This is what the colours are right for you, and so forth. So now that's my mirror there. So can you see how that's just randomly done? There's no rights or wrongs. It's just something that's going to sit in the middle of the canvas, and it's going to give you that middle bit. Now, I'm leaving the gold, as you know, I've got gold in the kit, and I'm leaving that till the end because I want to see how I'm getting on with these two colours initially. Okay, so what will happen now is, depending on where you want it, this will now sit in the middle like that. So can you see that? You don't want to see me really, do you? So that's already looking really beautiful. So obviously this is wet in spaces, so let's just put that over there for a minute. And then now what we want to do is we want to introduce a little bit of that gold, a little bit of those colours again, so that we can cover this white, the harshness of this whiteness up at the top. So let's just take a little bit of it gold. I've probably got enough just in the lid on this one. So let me just use a little bit of that first. Again, I'm using the same brush, just wash it out in between, dry it with a bit of paper towel. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and I'm going to lift some of that crackle. The drier your brush, the more the cracks you will see. Obviously, if you find you've put too much down, then just go back and just lift it. And then that will give you a really nice look. And in fact, I quite like that look because it gives me more control. Now, can you see how I've done that? You see that light's quite bright again. There you go. So that means that we can easily be doing some of the background without you worrying that you put too much down at times or a little. And then I also want to bring it into the bit where I haven't got any crackle, because we don't want that all the middle to stand out alone. So I just love, and you could do this on a tag. You could use a die cut instead of the mirror and use the same technique. There's just so many things. So don't forget to watch us on Technique Tuesday as well, Pip and I. So we're on at 6 o'clock in the UK time in the evening and 10 a.m. in the morning for those in Canada, wherever you are really these days. So what I'm doing is I'm just bringing all that in. All I've done is you don't need a lot. That's the beauty of these projects, that you don't need a lot. And I love this colour palette. It's just 3 colours, so beautiful. Again, like I've said, all the colours we give you in the kits are always complimentary, or we try to be. I really think about what I'm giving you in the kits. We don't want them to be too expensive. We don't want to have lots of product left over in terms of embellishments, but the paints you will always have lots left over because you get full-size pots. So again, now this is where I start to, you can put your strokes the opposite ways. So I just want to show you that. I'm going to lift a little bit of this out because I can. And then there you go. So this is the beauty of it. Now, can you see how beautiful that looks? And just hold that. There you go. You just see the bottom of it now. There you go. So it just gives you that little bit more. And if you want to go in and rub a little bit more off, you can do. And I think that's absolutely a beautiful, just a technique for any project, not just this project, but any project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a little bit of the blue and the purple, not too much, because I actually like the gold. So let me just put a little bit squeezy onto my mat. Don't want too much. It's the beauty of these lovely acrylics as well. They come in their tubes. You can hang your little tubes up. They've got little holders on the end. They're so cute. Full size 60 mils. That's what you'll be getting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that a little bit in there. And again, if you feel you put too much down, use either a little baby wipe or something and start bringing that through. And what I find with this is it gives you a much more control. It gives you much more of where you're wanting to place it. Don't let it dry too much, because once it's dry you won't be able to move it. Now, even if you wanted to spray water on it, and I know a lot of the tags we do have that effect, and it's just so lovely, and the control you get is amazing while you're doing it while it's wet. So I absolutely love this technique. So I'll just show you that what I've done there. There we go. So you can just see that technique is absolutely so controlled that you wouldn't get that control if you was just doing it randomly and not wiping it away. So it allows me to have that control. I'm going to come in with a little bit of blue as well. And again, you can, when it's dry, you can go back in and start to build these colours up. Because what will happen is if you continue while they're wet, all you're doing is basically making those colours muddy. And that's exactly not what we want. And I'm really pleased with this. If you see this corner here, that bit of blue and that little bit, so hopefully you can see that. Okay, so the next step is we start to build up the mirrored bit. So what we're going to do is we're bringing the mirror in. And now you can stick this down onto a bit of card and then stick the card down. It's very lightweight, so that's the whole beauty of this, is that it will work with your canvas. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of the gold because we've got a little bit of the gold in the background. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So not too much, but just a little bit.
I'm sorry, Dan.
It's okay, hun. You can hear your little parents in the background.
Yeah.
We always tell them, can you be quiet? But we've got really high ceilings here. They're over like 6 places 16 feet high. And what happens is it all echoes, and they don't realise it's echoing. So it's quite funny, really. But it's lovely. It's lovely to be with the family. It's really nice. It's lovely being with Pip because it means we can create more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're working on a Christmas pad already. So because we're together, so we're doing loads, and we're doing a lot of digital for you. Because for some people that's the best for them, and then you can print onto rice paper, you can print onto vellum. We're having a lot of fun with it as well. So there we go. So you can now see what I've done is I've brought that in line with the picture at the back. Can you see that? Let me show you that. It's lovely. And again, you can really go to town on this. I mean, I'm just doing it just, to show you exactly what you get. Now, if you wanted to, because you can probably see it, is you can go into these bits as well, the crevices, and just make it sure it's all dry, because what's going to happen is if it isn't all dry, all you're going to do is lift it. So I've just done that bit as well. And it's, it's a really nice project to do. I'm even cleaning my hands, but I've actually kept it quite tidy. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So the next thing I want to do is introduce you. You make me happy. So what I've done is I've just taken, it's a double-sided, it's 22 designs. And all I've done is I've taken one of the pages out of the book. So say you could take this page here, for example, and cut that out. You could take a sentiment. So what I've decided to do is I decided to take on one of the pages. You get 2 pages with the opposite design. Now, can you see them? So all I've done is fussy cut that. Nothing special, just fussy cut it. And that's the beauty of this book. Now, the other beauty of this book is if you wanted to, you can actually distress this with the distress inks. Let me just show you. What I did was I picked up 2 colours that matched similar, not 2. It's the cracked pistachio and dusty concord actually ink. So what I wanted to show you is how easy it is just to use these 2 colours to actually bring it in light of what we've been doing. Now you could use a slightly different blue. I've got a bit more of a greeny blue here, but you could have gone in with, but I just want to show you the effect that you can get on these papers. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this. I'm just going to go over that. And so I can just change it a little bit, not too much, but just enough. And then I can take the little purple and say if I want to take the purple in, I can actually go over this and change the look of this flower to a purple flower. And this is the beauty of this pad, is that we've given you the papers. Now you can do this with the digital because you'll be able to print onto certain papers that you can also colour. So you can see now, I think that, let me see if I can hold that up and keep it still. So it's gone slightly more of a tinge of a purple. So that's what I wanted to do is to maybe use the edging, the edging of these to be done with the actual, I just love this effect. And the brighter you go, obviously, the brighter the images. And obviously we'll take some photos of these and show you. So now can you see my bird? I don't know if you can see him. Can you see him? There you go. And he's just slightly different. It's just enough for me to give him a little bit more interest than he's had previously. So also what I did was you get on the back page, you get a tag page of this book. On the digital one, I'll show you that because I've only cut 1 tag. You get all these. So there's loads there so you can play with. So what I've done is I've just cut some bits out, cut a little bit more out. See that? And a few more big clock faces. So it's just all from the book. And all I'm doing is I'm just edging them with that little bit of ink that I've got left. And this is the ink that matches. If you haven't got this, don't worry. You can use your actual paints to create exactly the same effect. So it's not a problem at all. And a little bit of green in there. So greeny blue. So I can show you, I can also show you what you can do if you don't have these colours. In a minute on the tab I can show you. So all I'm doing is I'm just doing the edges. And again, it's not a problem. There you go. So you can either leave it at that, or you can go, you know, colour them to a little bit more. They are going to be layered. Right, now if you didn't have these colours and you wanted to use what you had, let me just show you what you can do. So you can just take that and just start to edge it a little bit. And I quite like this because it makes it a little bit more rustic. And you've got that blue tone already in your book, so you don't even need to go in with the blue really. If you wanted a bit of gold, you could go in, and that's given you a really nice sort of finish to these little projects. So not a lot, but just enough. There we go. Okay. Again, you can go over a little bit of it if you want it to, just randomly on your brush. So I've got a few bits going on there. So also, Pip's very kindly given me some embellishments as well, which you will get a few embellishments in your kits. They may vary, but there'll be a handful of embellishments to support your kits as well. So I've got a little cog there, got a bit of metal flower there, I've got a wooden love. I had these left over actually. These were just bits of air dry clay which just broke, or I just only did bits of it. I've got some wooden buttons there, got a bit of a peg going on. So we've got all of those. Now the best way for me to do the next bit for me is to bring all my work back in again. Let me just put that there now that I seem to be wanting to take up the whole world, is just position that where it is. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building on top of that mirror. And that is the beauty of it. Can you see that already? Let me turn this over and we can start to see what I'm talking about. Whoops, that was bad. The mirror stayed where it was. Can you see that now? Bring it in, bring it back. There you go. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm starting to build up where I want to put everything and where it should go. Now it doesn't matter if you go behind it, in front of it, it really is your project. So if you want to cover more of the mirror, cover more of the mirror. Now this takes a little bit of time because each of you will cut different parts of the book. Each of you will have maybe a different take on it, different colours. So it really is up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to sort of keep mine like that. I really love this sort of the clock feature in there. So you could even, if you wanted to, use that as a part of the back of your mirror. So you could do that. So again, you know, I quite like the idea that I'm sort of matching things up. I'm doing things, you know, I like the idea there's a bit of mirror showing. There's not loads of mirror showing. And just shows you where you can get with this as well. Maybe want to put a little bit of cord through that. So let me just show you that without dropping it all. So that's where I've got to so far with it. So you can see quite clearly I've started to build on the background. And I absolutely love, I just love this effect. It's a really nice thing to do. It's really easy to achieve. So let me just move that aside. And what I'm going to do is, obviously you can put more embellishments, less embellishments. I'm going to take all those little bits. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to come in with a little bit of the purple. And what you can do is you can just put that down on your mat, take a little bit of water and spritz it so that you've got a little bit. You don't always need it really thick. This is the beauty of these, but they really do. You can really go to town with them. So, you know, we don't need it to be really thick. So it's giving the coating straight away. And I love the finish it gives you. It's just so pretty. And all I'm doing is colouring these in. So you've got those. So, you know, just a little wooden button and just do the sides and just go for it. There we go. So it's a matter of colouring all of those in. I know our videos, you know, show a lot of detail, they're long, but you know, if I wanted to do this, and I've never done mixed media, I'd want to know all the steps. So this is a really nice way to do that, because there's nothing worse when somebody leaves a step out and you're thinking, wondering, how did they do that bit? So again, you know, the creamies will cover metal. So it's a really, you know, it's a really nice way to use these paints. You'll get a metal embellishment as well within your kit. And, you know, and whatever you've got lying around, really, you know, and we all have things lying around. I know, we're crafters. So I just found this. So I thought, oh, I'll add this. So you're going to get some embellishments in your kits, but you can obviously add whatever you've got. And we have lots of different embellishments on the website. We've added lots of new stuff. So, you know, please go to town on that. And we're just literally going through all this. And we're giving you everything we can to do this project. So there we are with that sort of first layer. So all I've done is covered them all in purple. I find that if I start with a darker colour, then it's easier, because then I can add the lighter colour at a later date, or a later time. So I'll just wipe my brush again. I seem to move my water as far as I can all the time by myself. So let's just do that. So all I'm doing, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to quickly give those a little blast, not a lot, just a little blast. And I'm going to take it so back to the blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit. We don't need a lot of blue, just need a little bit. Now that it's nice and dry, it should be easier. Just try to make sure your brush is dry. So just a little bit to bring those in. Just love the combination of these colours. I hope you can see that. And again, you know, it is your project. You do what you want to do with it. Use the colours you want to use. This is just a kit, a example. But if you wanted to, and you wanted to change the colours, you just have to let us know. If you wanted to match it to your home decor, just let us know. And we can, within reason, change stuff for you. And Paul will be cursing me at this moment in time, saying that. So all I've done is I've gone and brought all that blue back in, brought all that. So working with 3 colours. I like actually working with 3 colours, 5 colours, odd numbers. And I quite like working with colours like this, because you can make it darker, you can make it lighter. So you can do lots of different colours. And what we'll do is we'll try and use these 3 colours in other projects for you, so that if you have got these and you have made the kits, then you can introduce these again into some of your other work as well. Oops, let me do this quickly. Let me put a little bit of brown in, brown, gold even. And let me go back and just put a little bit of that in. So again, all I'm doing is randomly, not thinking about it, but randomly just adding colour so that all of this matches. Lots of people do this different ways. Some people paint them all white and start from scratch. Some people do them black and do it that way. I quite like the quality of the materials we're giving you is very high, so you should be able to colour them whatever colour you want and how you want. Okay, so let's give that a quick heat blast. Hopefully you can see the beauty. Let me pick some of these up for you and just see the beauty of these few items that have just been coloured. Can you see those? Look. They're just so pretty. And now this is where we go in and we start to build up the project. Obviously you can do a lot more with this project. I'm going to do this in the format I've done it for the video. So the easiest thing for me to do is just to put these layers down. You can take a photograph, beauty of technology. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with these mirrors. I'm just using the glue gun just for the ease of time. But what I would say is I would always use the Pentart heavy body matte or gloss, because what that means is that your papers will stay where they are for time to come. So let's put that down. So all we're doing is putting these down. Okay, so there we go. I'm just building that up. So there's no right or wrong, like I said to you. There we go. And now we're going to put the birdie on. He's our biggest part here. And what you can do is obviously try and put the glue where the edges are. So you've got that. Be careful always with hot glue. I always find that. There you go. And then he goes on there. Now you can build in how you want the rest of it. So I'm doing mine like this today. And again, you can sort of make the papers more 3D. You can do more decoupage on them. You can do whatever you want to. All I'm doing is I'm just showing you one way of doing these. And always obviously make sure your mirror's in the center, because otherwise it will be off. Now, I'll probably get a little tie and put that in here, but I'm going to just put this on here now. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is, and again, you can do this in steps, you can do it together, you can do it however you want. So all I want to do is, I'm going to do mine slightly off like this, is I'm going to start to build up some of the areas. So I'm going to put this little button in the middle of my 2 clocks. There we go. So it's just little bits. I'm going to attach this peg at the top to my little bow, even my little and then, you know, it's just a matter of where you want things to stick or where you don't want them to be. You know, maybe we can cover that a little bit and then put that down on that. Have the little love underneath and the big love at the top. And again, just take your time and do what you think is right. There's no rights and wrongs in mixed media. This is what we keep telling you. So just find a way that works for you. So this little bit. And sometimes, you know what? It's good to have random things because it breaks your comfort zone. It allows you to do things that you wouldn't do otherwise. So let me see where I want to place this. So I think I might put them on that clock face because I quite like that. Now it doesn't have to all be done. You know, it can be all different. You can keep adding to this. So there's no, like I say, there's no rights, there's no wrongs. It's just what you want to achieve of what you're doing. So it's just a matter, you can add some beads to this. You can add, like I say, you can add whatever you want to this project. It's just a personal preference. So I'm thinking of where do I want this now? So I think I'm going to add it here. And can you see how I'm building this up? And again, you can keep adding and adding and adding. Whoops, that's clever. So I haven't stuck the mirror down yet. So let me hold that. So that's where I've got to with it. I'm going to carry on with this a little bit and I'm going to show you all the the photographs of what this looks like, and I'm going to glue it down. But I just want to add a little bit more to that. There we go, we keep dropping it, DALI. Let me hold it off there and I'll show you that just on its own as well. So even on its own, if you just wanted to do it on its own, you've got this beautiful piece that you could just stick on its own because it is so sturdy and it's even got a little hook on the back for you. So there's 2 ways of doing it, either on the canvas or without the canvas. So there we go. The canvas just makes it look more grandiose. So I'm going to say a goodbye to you all. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Pip and I are here for you. We want you to stay safe, look after yourselves and be kind to one another and keep crafting. Lots of love from us all here.
Bye.
Bye.